Welcome to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast with Jacob Ayers, providing actionable content to help you along your journey to financial freedom through real estate investing. As the premier asset class, real estate has helped ordinary people just like you amass fortunes. The benefits of passive income from real estate investing will allow you to live a life you want. And now your host, entrepreneur, real estate investor, and apartment deal syndicator, Jacob Ayers.
Hi, and welcome to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Jacob Ayers. This is Friday Fundamentals. Hey, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. This week's Friday Fundamental is write your own story. So let's start with your vision. Do you remember when you were a kid what you wanted to be when you grew up? For me, first, I wanted to be a truck driver. Then it was a bull rider. I wore boots, jeans, and a cowboy hat to preschool, kindergarten, and well throughout elementary school. I even held my own real-life rodeos with the help of my dog. Then it was an astronaut. I had a poster of Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins from the 1969 Apollo 11 spaceflight and moon landing. I also wanted to be a veterinarian, an anesthesiologist, and even the President of the United States, just to name a few more. Now, luckily, my parents, like so many others, encouraged me to do and be whatever I wanted to. You know, when we are young, we're encouraged to explore, learn new things, and be creative. But eventually that freedom fades as we grow older. Eventually we're expected to bear the normal responsibilities of working a steady job, traditional retirement planning, raising a family, and so on. The American dream, you might say. We quit encouraging people to explore and learn new things way too early in life, in my opinion. At 18 years old, we're expected to know what you want to do for a career when just 2 years ago you couldn't even drive yourself to a job. Before we know it, we're slapped with the responsibilities of life, and all that room for being creative quickly disappears. There's a quote by Paula Poundstone that says, "Adults are always asking kids what they want to be when they grow up because they are looking for ideas themselves." You can live your life however you want. Anything you can imagine is possible. You must just first imagine that. This is your vision. Your vision is the big picture. It's the framework for goals and actions. Your vision outlines who you want to be, how you want to live your life, and what values you have. It will be the reason why you wake up every day and pursue your goals. Your vision is what you strive for. The more specific you can make your vision, the better. A vision to simply be wealthy or be happy isn't enough. Use emotionally charged language about how you will feel. Most importantly, write it down. It's okay if you don't exactly know what your vision is just yet, but writing it down will help you turn your thoughts into words and then turn those words into actions. Your vision will probably change over time too. Think big with your vision. Remember, people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Look at New Year's resolutions, for example. People set lofty goals only to give up by the time February rolls around. A lot can change in 5 years, 10 years, and so on. In fact, 5 years doesn't even seem like that long of a time, right? But think back 5 years ago to a point in your life. Look at how much has changed. I'm sure you've grown, learned, and experienced new things and are capable of so much more now. Your interests, hobbies, priorities, and responsibilities have probably changed some too. One thing is certain, whether you changed for the better or worse or not, those 5 years have passed, and the next 5 years will pass. There's a quote by Jim Rohn that says, "It's the set of the sails, not the direction of the wind, that determines which way we will go." Just absolutely love that quote. It's the set of the sails, not the direction of the wind, that determines which way we will go. You owe it not only to yourself, but to the other people in your life to be the best version of you. That's all. Just be the best version you can be. Anything less is wasting your potential, and, well, there isn't anything more you can do than your best. Let's talk about living intentionally. Your vision serves as a purpose for you to live intentionally. Living intentionally means you make conscious decisions about living how you want. As we all know, it can be easy to get caught up in everyday life, being reactive to things that come our way. If life is a pinball machine, you can either be the pinball being bounced around or you can be the paddles. Which do you want to be? Now, here's another relevant quote by Tom Bilyeu that says, if you don't know exactly who you want to be and what you want to be doing in 5 years, you're already doing it. Wow, let that sink in. Who will you be in 5 years? What will you be doing? The answer should align with your vision. Let's look at how you can create your vision and then build some goals to achieve that. 1, create a vision. Ask yourself these 4 questions. Who do you want to spend your time with? How do you want to live your life? Who do you want to help? And how will you feel when you are living out that vision? Step 2, set big goals, 10x goals here. This exercise comes from the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. Set goals 10 times more than you think you can achieve. Remember, you are probably underestimating what you can do in a decade, so shoot for the stars. 3, break those 10x goals down into 10-year, 5-year, 3-year, and even 1-year goals. I know this sounds like a lot, but you're really just creating stepping stones to achieve those 10x goals. Those intermediate to long-term goals help keep you accountable to yourself. Step 4, break your 1-year goals into 12-week goals. We can't leave ourselves to 1-year goals because remember, how successful do we tend to be with New Year's resolutions? That's why we need a more frequent reminder of our progress. This 12-week goal is inspired and created by Brian Moran in his book, The 12-Week Year, and Brandon Turner in his journal, The Intention Journal. Both Brian and Brandon outline compelling reasons why breaking down goals and actions into 12-week periods produces better results than operating on a 12-month year. 12 weeks allows you enough time to accomplish large goals, but is compressed so as to not give you time to procrastinate. Let's look at an example. Let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds this year, starting January 1st, you know that you have 12 months to accomplish this. You can have that cheeseburger and milkshake in February, knowing you have 10 more months to recover and get back on track. But rather, if your goal is to lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks, that's a little more than 1.5 pounds per week you have to lose. No room for milkshakes there. But both Brian and Brandon go even further and recommend weekly action plans. You track your leading and lagging measures to understand how you are tracking and then project your results. This is a hyper-focused approach to achieving your goals. So backing up to our 30,000 foot view and reviewing our 10x goals, let's look at something. Let's say one of your 10x goals is to earn $1 million per year in passive and or business income 10 years from now. Without intermediate and short-term goals, you could easily procrastinate that goal this entire year and even next year, making no progress towards it. But that's okay, you still have 8 or 9 years left, which seems like forever away, right? If you're not taking steps every day to get you towards that goal, then how do you ever expect to accomplish such a large feat? To summarize these steps, start with your vision. This anchors your goals. Then set 10x goals, break those down into 10, 5, 3, 1 year, and 12-week goals. Tailor this approach how you want. Maybe you only make 10, 5, and 1 year goals, It's up to you, but the more specific you get, the more specific you can plan. You can choose to either live the life you want and create for yourself, or live the life someone else creates for you. Your vision, reasons why, and goals are simply the tools you use to create that life. Your ideal life won't happen accidentally. You'll have to create it. As Walt Disney says, if you can dream it, you can do it. So what would you want to accomplish in your life? What legacy do you want to leave behind? What do you think about when you were old and reflecting on the things that you did and didn't do in life? Spend some time thinking about these things. You'll come up with all sorts of ideas, thoughts, feelings, and you can use these to help start building a life you want now. No matter who you are, where you're at in life, or what you have or haven't accomplished so far, you are capable of creating any life you want. All you have to do is figure out what that is and go do it. Well, hey, that wraps up this week's episode of Friday Fundamentals. I hope you got so much value from this podcast and this specific episode. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you're liking about the show. If you haven't yet, please go over and leave a rating and review on whichever platform you're listening on. Check me out on social media. I'm getting more active there. I'd love to hear from you. Until next week, engineer the lifestyle you want.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast, providing you actionable content to build your real estate empire. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for personal advice. The opinions of guests are their own. Information is not guaranteed. All investment strategies have a potential for profit or loss. The host is operating on behalf of the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom, LLC, exclusively.